Good evening, Ms. Janice Yin, Guest of Honor and Board Member of Singapore Sports School.
Ms. Tan Gi Kiao, Chairman of Singapore Sports School Board, Permanent Secretary for the Ministry of Culture, Community and Youth.
Madam Kit Gek Wah, Board Member of Singapore Sports School, Cluster Superintendent, Ministry of Education.
Ms. Vanessa S., daughter of the late Annabelle Pennyfather.
Ms. Chan Lei Hun, Board Member of Singapore Olympic Foundation.
Mr. Tan Wei Ming, Senior Director, Sports for Ministry of Culture, Community and Youth.
Dr. Su Chun Wei, Director, National Youth Sports Institute, Deputy Chief, Singapore Sports Institute.
Mr. Ong Kim Soon, Principal of Singapore Sports School.
Award winners and staff. Welcome to the 17th Singapore Sports School Awards Night 2021. My name is Irshad and I am the President of the Student Council. I'm a second-year student in the International Baccalaureate Diploma Program and I'm from the Track and Field Academy.
My name is Rishika and I am a proud alumna of the Singapore Sports School Netball Academy.
We are both delighted to be your MCs for this evening.
This year's event may be a small, cozy, and intimate one, due to the ongoing COVID-19 situation and the precautions that need to be taken to ensure everyone's safety. However, we will be recording this event to be broadcast to our students this coming Tuesday on the 2nd of February. The recording will also be available online for parents and other stakeholders to witness the awards ceremony.
So Rishika, what have you been doing since you graduated from Singapore Sports School?
Well, I have been enjoying my time as a freshman at the National University of Singapore and trying out new sports apart from netball, such as basketball, handball, and track and field. I'm delighted to be invited back to be a part of Singapore Sports School's 17th Awards Night, especially since there is a special segment for alumni like myself.
It sure sounds like you have been busy. Well, Sports School has been no different. Despite the challenges of 2020, we have continued to be active. Let's have a look back at 2020.
No one was really ready for 2020. Most of the year's sporting calendars was cleared out. Suddenly, the sports scene was quiet. However, like a true sportsman who encounters a novel challenge, we strengthened our defenses and put up our counter-attack, pivoted and fought on.
We saw the school ramp up its efforts to keep our children safe, yet maintain their fitness levels. Daily temperature takings, cleaning of high-touch surfaces, safe physical distancing were enforced. The upside of all this is that our children became more responsible towards themselves and to their family and friends around them.
Looking back, 2020 wasn't too bad. The year started off with orientation for the Secondary 1 student athletes and the Academy Orientation Games organised by boarding. We also celebrated the excellent results of our IBDP and O-level classes from the 2019 graduating batch, giving us more assurance that excelling in both sport and studies is possible. Later in the year, our 2 polytechnic groups also graduated. In fact, this year we saw the first graduating batch from the Diploma in Business program, offered jointly with Ngee Ann Polytechnic. Some of our schoolmates also achieved incredible feats in sport. Speed skater Trevor Tan was in Lausanne flying the Singapore flag at the 3rd Winter Youth Olympic Games, while others had the opportunity to test their skills against local and international rivals. They outshone their competitors in both sport and character, and made us proud of the determination and perseverance they displayed.
In April, things took a turn when COVID-19 changed everything that we were familiar with. Home-based learning and training forced us to adapt and learn fast. Our teachers had to quickly move lessons and assignments to the online platform. Our coaches had to modify trainings so that they could be done in a safe manner, in a small space with little supervision. It was not easy for our student athletes too, as they had few events to look forward to.
While online lessons and training over Google Meet was mostly no laughing matter, the virtual platform made it possible for us to stay connected to our friends during the circuit breaker. And when the going got tough, we found moral support from these friends. It was heartwarming when the sports school family got together to do good and spread kindness during challenging times. when funds were collected for the Invictus Fund to support social service agencies and a home-baked sale was staged to help victims of the Beirut blast, it was this family that contributed to these causes. Even before circuit breaker, after hearing the news of how overstretched the healthcare workers and frontline workers were because of the rampant spread of COVID, student athletes jumped at the opportunity to prepare care packs for those working in the hospitals, in our school, as well as migrant workers.
When school resumed in June, school events and activities such as National Day celebration, student leaders' investiture and graduation ceremony, as well as other commemorative events resumed in a small group setting. Student athletes in the various academies and mentor groups grew closer to each other emotionally, though less so physically.
2020 was about going back to our fundamentals, why we do what we do, and discovering new ways of doing things, even doing some things better.
Our growth continued, not only in our sport foundation, but also in our personal skills and values. The secondary 1s to 3s completed the level leadership workshops, which helped them uncover and discover their leadership potential. This year, the student leaders also had more opportunities to lead and think out of the box given limitations. They took on the challenge boldly, taking to the online space to organize activities like Staff Day celebrations and the orientation for recruited Primary 6s. There were also several student-led activities during post-exam week. These activities may have taken on a different format, but they were just as meaningful. For the first time, we also had 2 days after the end of the examinations for multi-sports exposure and had a session to conduct a talent optimization program for student athletes to try out different sports.
So we ended the year stronger from within. Some had the privilege to get back into competitive sports action and did well. The rest continued their academic pursuits concurrently and reaped good outcomes. The quality of our student athletes did not stop at sports school. Our student athletes continue to shine beyond. 13 of our current student athletes were named Best Sports Boy and Sports Girl in their respective sports by the Singapore School Sports Council, while former student athletes Amitha Berthia and Kowen Pang won the Sports Girl and Sports Boy of the Year titles at the 2020 Singapore Sports Award. We also celebrated with Constance Lien when she became the first combat sports athlete to win the Straits Times Athlete of the Year award earlier in the year. It has been heartening to witness the whole sports school community banding together to weather this crisis. We are proud that our student athletes and staff remained positive, rose above the challenges that were thrown at us, staying resilient in our pursuit of nurturing student athletes into learned champions with character. So, upon our wings, we will continue to soar.
We would now like to invite our principal, Mr. Ong, to give his opening address. Mr. Ong, please.
A very good evening, Ms. Janice Yun, Board Member of the Singapore Sports School, Ms. Tan Gi Kiao, Chairman of the School Board and Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Culture, Community and Youth, student athletes, parents, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Singapore Sports School Awards Night 2021. It has been a while since we last held a major event in this auditorium. In fact, the last major event was last year's 16th award ceremony. Back then, Singapore had just reported its first case of COVID-19, and none of us could have predicted how this pandemic would have changed our lives. Last year, we had more than 800 guests, including student athletes, parents, colleagues, and stakeholders. Well, tonight is a far cry in terms of scale because of the safe distancing measures, but its significance is no less. In fact, more people will be able to view tonight's award ceremony when it is made available online next week.
As you have seen from the video, we have been pressing on with our students' learning, training, and growing together. Despite a quieter 2020, I'm heartened to witness our student athletes' display of resilience and excellence in all aspects of life, in sports, studies, and character. So I'm especially proud of our award winners, for they role model and inspire their peers to strive for excellence with their own examples. You will see student athletes like Nujait Hasif Zainal Abidin, Aoyong Wayan, Ho Siu Yi, Lincoln Forest Lightman, and Nicholas Rashmadi, who made the extended International Baccalaureate Diploma program, which is only available in sports school, a normal option, not so much necessary an exception to take amongst our various educational pathways that are offered here, and how they continue to achieve outstanding academic results and sports achievements. You will also see overcomers like Elisa Canoa from the Badminton Academy, who despite her medical condition, excelled in her O-levels, as well as contributed significantly to the team's domination at the National Schools Games consistently. The qualities of knowing what they want and putting their wholehearted efforts into achieving their goals, despite challenges and adversities, are things that will make our student athletes champions in sports and in life. Adversities brings out the best of the human spirit. You saw in the video how Smita Rai started the hashtag SSB We Care campaign to raise funds for the Invictus Fund. And there is also Anna Tay Wan En from our IBDP, who was so moved by the plight of migrant workers that she started her own fundraising effort via the Giving.sg platform. She raised more than 25,000. She even enlisted her friends' help to sell pastries and ice creams in school, which raised another $500. All proceeds have been donated to the Migrant Workers Assistance Fund. We also saw many of our alumni stepping forward when COVID-19 hits to give back to the community. They rallied together with Team Nila, the sports volunteerism group, to contribute towards worthy causes. For example, Muhammad Shahid, Nurul Shahid Suhaila, and Sheikh Firdaus helped distribute masks. Niu Hui Fen, Debbie So, Mia Yong Sing met with the Singapore General Hospital frontline medical staff to show their gratitude. We are proud to see our student athletes and alumni contributing actively to the community and showing what it means to be learned champions with character. Now, these acts of kindness didn't just spring up overnight. They are the fruits from seeds of care, respect, empathy, and love that are planted when our student athletes are young, in their homes by their parents, when they were in their primary schools, and in Singapore Sports School by the coaches, teachers, mentors, and significant adults. We celebrate how our student athletes and alumni are blossoming as concerned citizens and active contributors wherever they are. It is therefore appropriate for me to acknowledge and thank my staff for the past 17 years of good work, and even more so during these challenging times, as they continue the resilience and innovation to not only keep everyone safe in sports school, but to also continue guiding our student athletes in their learning, training, and growing in character. Tonight, we will formally add one more avenue to strengthen and support our student athletes. We will officially launch the Singapore Sports School Alumni Association, where our student athletes can continue to support one another as well as give back to their juniors, even as they progress through different phases of their lives. Now, you know why Rishika is back as co-MC for this event, whom you met earlier, even though she graduated from our IBDP in 2019. and she's busy with her undergraduate studies in NUS. I understand that Rishika even runs a podcast to contribute to the social change ecosystem while volunteering in the new Alumni Association. So welcome back, Rishika. I'll leave the guest of honor, Ms. Janice Yun, member of our school board, an alumnus from our pioneer batch, and president of the Pro Tem Committee for the Alumni Association, to share more on the association's plans. Meanwhile, I wish to thank Ms. Yun and a team of very dedicated alumni for coming together to do this work. And I look forward to the strong partnership the school and the association will have for the benefit of our present, past, as well as future student athletes. I'm also very touched by the kindness and generosity of the International Women's Forum Singapore and the Singapore Olympic Foundation for stepping forward to introduce 2 new awards to recognize graduating student athletes from sports school who have demonstrated sporting excellence, good character, leadership, and community spirit. The Annabelle Pennyfather Excellence Award and the Tan Hao Liang Excellence Award will be presented for the first time tonight. The Annabelle Pennyfather Excellence Award honors sports icon Annabelle Pennyfather, a former national hockey player who also served in various roles to care for athletes and their development, including as Vice President of the Singapore National Olympic Council and as President of the Singapore Hockey Federation. We're honored to have with us Ms. Vanessa S., daughter of the late Annabelle Pennyfather, to join us this evening and to present the award later. Now, a little fun fact about Ms. S. She's the holder of the title of being the first and longest-serving female pilot with SIA. Probably she would have words of wisdom for our student athletes too about living your dreams. The Tan Hao Liang Excellence Award honors Mr. Tan Hao Liang, who became Singapore's first Olympic medalist when he won a silver for weightlifting in the 1960 Olympic Games. His passion and grit to pursue his dreams despite challenges is admirable. We're honored to have with us Ms. Chan Lei Hun, board member of the Singapore Olympic Foundation, to join us this evening and to present the award later. Also, a little fun fact about Ms. Chan, whom I've known for almost 10 years now. She made history in 2015 by being the first and only female Singaporean president of a top European football club, Valencia. Well, we can talk to her more about it later, if you wish. Now, the formation of the Alumni Association and the 2 Inaugural Excellence Award signals the deep trust and partnership we have with our internal and external stakeholders, and a common vision to develop and grow our student athletes, national athletes for Singapore through the work in sports school. We are deeply grateful for the trust you have placed in us. And so, we will press on, pandemic or otherwise, to develop future-ready student athletes who are self-directed and active contributors, with good character and leadership, beyond achieving their sports and academic potential. We'll be harnessing technology in a more substantial way for learning, with all Sec 1 to 3 student athletes equipped with personalized digital learning device. The Sec 1 student athletes will purchase their Chromebooks in March this year, while the Sec 2s and 3s already have these provided by the school for their personal use. We will further complement the personal learning device program with a fortnightly independent learning day as part of our approach to strengthen blended learning, as announced by the Ministry of Education recently. Our IBDP students have started the independent learning day, where they plan their learning for the day without having to come to school for face-to-face lesson once a fortnight on a Friday. They may attend sports training in the morning and schedule their academic learning at a time and pace best suited to their training and personal schedules. This will be akin to the student athletes who miss face-to-face lesson during their overseas training or competitions, but could now carry on their learning on their own. The rest of the school will do likewise from Term 3 this year onwards. We will also further strengthen the long-term development of our student athletes by recruiting students with multi-sports background and allowing them to specialize in their chosen sports later. We will also facilitate systematic sports talent optimization and transfers while the student athletes are with us. We will also increase our midstream intake so that more student athletes who develop their sports talent later could benefit from our sports and athlete-friendly programs. We will further strengthen the caring and supportive school culture through more systematic peer support training programs, as well as leadership development and opportunities, so that student athletes can strive towards excellence together in a caring and supportive environment. Our Sporting Parents Network will also be stepping up with more parent education programs for our parents so as to better support our student athletes. Now, every student athlete who comes to sports school has a dream to do well in sports and in life. We are therefore committed to helping them maximize their sports potential and optimize their life options. The setting up of the Alumni Association provides the structure for the big brothers and sisters to guide the juniors and support them, while the 2 inaugural awards are a boost for the sports ecosystem. Together, these will further spur and support our athletes towards chasing their dreams. The trust and support given to us by the parents and stakeholders, as well as our partners, will continue to cheer us on, even as we navigate through the current pandemic, to always give our best for our student athletes. This work is important work, because we are giving our best for the future of Singapore's athletes and for the future of sports in Singapore. So it leaves me now to thank our parents, partners, and sponsors, the Ministry of Culture, Community and Youth, the Ministry of Education, the school board led by our ever-supportive chairman, Ms. Tan Yi Kiao. We also wish to thank Ms. Yun, Ms. S, and Ms. Chan for gracing tonight's award ceremony. To the awards recipients, congratulations. To my student athletes who have graduated, learn from your seniors. Come back to serve and grow together. To my present student athletes, be thankful for the abundance of support, care, and love that this community has for you, and therefore do your best. For upon our wings, lifted by this amazing community, we will continue to soar. Thank you.
We would now like to invite our guest of honor, Ms. Janice Yun, to address us. Ms. Yun, please.
Ms. Tan Gi Kiao, Chairman of the Singapore Sports School, Mr. Ong Kim Soon, Principal of the Sports School, members of the Board of Directors, distinguished guests, staff, alumni and student athletes, and those joining us virtually, good evening. Thank you for inviting me as a guest of honor at this year's awards night. The annual awards night recognizes student athletes in our community who have demonstrated excellence both on and off the field. The awards, I sincerely congratulate each and every one of you. The awards you are receiving today represent the fruit of the hard work, sacrifices, and unyielding determination that you have shown in your commitment to both your studies and your sports, especially in light of 2020, which brought many training schedules to a grinding halt. You have shown resilience and adaptability, making the best of a difficult season. May this award always remind you that while tough times are inevitable, staying the course always allows us to emerge triumphant and stronger than before. I'm sure many of you sitting here will agree with me that you did not make it here alone. The people who are supporting you from the background have played an indispensable role in your achievements. They have walked with you through your sporting journey, offered the listening ear when you needed it most, and made sacrifices on their own so that you can achieve your dreams. As an athlete myself, I cannot understate the importance of the support structures that have been crucial to my growth and achievements. Today will be a moment of great joy and celebration for many of you, and rightfully so. But I also offer you this thought. Does this achievement simply stop here with you, or will you go on to play a part in someone else's achievements and successes? I think many of you will relate to this, but when I graduated from the sports school not too long ago, I found myself in very unfamiliar waters. All of a sudden, I was re-entering the traditional education system and to decide on a subject combination that may potentially limit my career options. Beyond the intensive bubble of training, school and regular competition, I began to see so many other facets of life that quietly slipped into the background as I threw myself into table tennis. Many of my friends had grown up in a different educational system that it was hard sometimes not to feel like an outlier. I was proud of everything that I had achieved as an athlete and as a student, but I often wondered, how can I still pursue these both sides of me, even as I exit the sports school? And is there some kind of manual for life that can help me navigate life after graduation? Unfortunately, there isn't, but I do believe that we have the potential to create the next best thing with the Singapore Sports School Alumni Association. I'll be honest and share that my answer would have been different had I been asked this question 10 years ago. Back then, most of us were students, struggling to find our way. But as more of us enter the working world, I believe that we are well positioned to guide and support juniors like yourself. Further, with the recent tie-up between the school and a few of the early students of the school, I realized that there is a gap that can only be filled by those who have gone before. While I didn't have seniors, I have been fortunate to have teachers who gave me advice and friends who whipped me into shape. But it also made me realize how much more powerful it can be if we can tap on our growing resources and find out more on a first-hand basis about paths less traveled. Hence, it gives me great excitement to officially launch the Singapore Sports School Alumni Association tonight. Together with the working committee, it is our hope that the association will foster a strong community amongst past and present student athletes, consolidating our diverse knowledge, skill sets, and experiences to guide others who come after us. Also, that we will continue to mutually inspire and spur each other on, and celebrate your successes with you as we forge our own paths in sports and in life. I'd like to pause here quickly and acknowledge the efforts of my schoolmates who had sought to keep our small community continually engaged with the school in various capacities over the past decade. And I hope that with the setup of the official Alumni Association, we can work together and magnify our efforts. I know that there are some past graduates listening into this, and I believe that all of you have gone on to achieve great things even after leaving the sports school. So once again, I ask, how can you make your achievements count for more? I believe the Alumni Association offers you the opportunity to be a part of someone else's journey. Your experience and your advice, even taking the time to speak to a junior, could make a world of a difference. If you wish to join us, do follow us at alumni.sportschoolsg on Instagram. I'll pause here for a minute so you can follow us. As we release more, sorry, I'm just joking. You can just follow us on Instagram as we release more information in the coming weeks. So as the Alumni is still in its infancy, we welcome your feedback on how we can walk on this journey together. Most of you here are current students and may be wondering, sorry sis, but what does this have to do with me? Well, I'm excited to share that the Alumni Association is currently working with the school to support the education and career guidance initiatives that will be rolling out in the coming year, which will give students valuable insight into further schooling and scholarship options, internship opportunities, and diverse career tracks. This partnership between the Alumni Association and the school will be a crucial stepping stone, empowering our students to discover their direction and unlock their full potential as they progress into the next phase of life. I hope with the setup of the Alumni Association, it will help ease the transition into life after sports school and help you feel more confident about taking your place in the world. I would also strongly encourage you to tap on the knowledge and experiences of the alumni, as many of them are more than happy to help you in whatever ways they can. And one day, when you become an alumnus yourself, I hope that you will find it in you to guide and mentor your juniors with the experiences you have gained through the years, good or bad, and nurture fellow learned champions with character. So once again, my heartiest congratulations to the award winners and their families tonight. May this really be the first of many milestones in your sporting and professional life hereafter. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Yun, for your inspiring speech. Please remain on stage. Tonight, we are pleased to officially launch the Singapore Sports School Alumni Association at our 17th Awards Night. We would like to invite Ms. Janice Yun, Pro Tem Chairman, Singapore Sports School Alumni Association, Ms. Tan Gi Kiao, Chairman of Singapore Sports School Board, and Mr. Ong Kim Soon, the Principal, to do us the honor of unveiling the Singapore Sports School Alumni Association logo. Ms. Yun, Ms. Tan, and Mr. Ong, please. We will now invite them to launch the Singapore Sports School Alumni Association.
Thank you, Ms. Yin, Ms. Tan, and Mr. Ong.
The logo resembles the torch of an ever-burning passion for sports, conveying the desire of the Singapore Sports School Alumni Association to be the flame that continues to burn for the love of sports and to be the support of Singapore Sports School and its student athletes and alumni.
The red S in the logo represents sports and the spirit of sportsmanship. The strokes are a representation of the diversity of individuals coming together to form the flame that represents the common purpose and passion that unite them.
Red and orange signify the affiliation with Singapore Sports School's colours, red being the passion and pride of our student athletes, and orange the youthfulness and vigour of student athletes. The dark blue symbolises the committed and trustworthy support of the Singapore Sports School's alumni community in nurturing champions in sport and in life.
So aside from picking up good habits, one of the biggest impacts sports school had on my life was that it gave me a first-hand experience on what it means to be in a position to impact change and the responsibility that comes with it. I think that formed the basis of my motivation to constantly work on my skills and improve myself so that I'm better equipped to bring about positive changes.
Sports school is my pride and joy. Currently, as a boarding mentor to the student athletes, I get to relay my experience as a former sports school student myself and hopefully guide them and shape them to be national athletes for the future.
I feel a sense of pride when I'm being called a sports school alumni because of the opportunities I got back when I was a student, which led me to where I am right now, achieving both sporting and academic excellence.
To me, being a sports school alumni means continuing to champion sport and contribute to growing the sporting culture in Singapore beyond graduation and retirement in whichever way that we can. So, for example, just keeping fit or studying sports science, coaching, or just teaching my own kids, how wonderful sport is.
So being a sports school alumni, I think it fills me with a lot of pride just because I think my experience here and the values that I picked up here really contributed to the person that I am today, both on and off the track.
The biggest opportunity that sports school has given me is allowing me to come back for the DSIM after ITE. This has given me many chances to fulfill my sporting dreams. My life would have been very different otherwise.
As a young sportsman, I knew that I wanted to pursue sports, but I didn't really know how to go about it or how to actually balance sports and studies. What the sports school did for me was to give me that structure and the skills to teach me how to be a good student athlete.
What I'm looking forward most to is helping the current student athletes in deciding which path to take after their sports school journey.
So with the setup of this alumni association, I think I'm really looking forward to just helping out the current student athletes as much as I can, because I think we both know what it was like to be a student athlete, and it can be tough. So any piece of advice from my seniors would have helped me a long way, and so I hope I can do that for them now.
I'm looking forward to the opportunities alumni can get through this association, such as fulfilling their sporting dreams at a higher level.
What I hope to see with the setup of the alumni is whether our members, having the experiential knowledge of what it means to pursue professional sport and its trade-offs, can come together to share our collective knowledge and make positive changes within the community, eventually becoming a linchpin of the sport ecosystem. Internally, I see the alumni as being well positioned to support and guide our juniors, be it in professional sport or in other walks of life.
In 5 to 10 years' time, I wish the association can be a platform for past and present student athletes to seek networking and career opportunities.
With the setup of the Singapore Sports School Alumni Association, I look forward to a much closer partnership between the school and its alumni in order to help them give back to the current generation, their juniors, and to give them better support in their dreams of becoming Singapore's top athletes.
In 5 to 10 years' time, I hope to see a strong community of alumni and a well-established common platform that celebrates the achievements and the journeys that student athletes embark on after graduation, because the adventure is only just beginning.
Next up, here's a treat from the student leaders, congratulating all the award recipients on behalf of the student body.
I got this feeling inside my bones. It goes electric wavy when I turn it on. Off from my city, off from my home. We're flying up, no ceiling when we in our zone. I got that sunshine in my pocket, got that good soul in my feet. I feel that hot blood in my body when it drops. Ooh, I can't take my eyes off of it, moving so phenomenally. You're more like the way we rock it, so don't stop. It's under the lights when everything goes. Nowhere to hide when I'm getting you close. When we move, well, you already know. So just imagine. Nothing I can see but you when you dance, dance, dance. Feel good, good creeping up on you. So just dance, dance, dance. Come on. All those things I shouldn't do, but you dance, dance, dance. And ain't nobody leaving soon, so keep dancing. I can't stop the feeling. So just dance, dance, dance. I can't stop the feeling. So just dance, dance, dance. Come on. Ooh, it's something magical.
We shall now begin the presentation of awards. The awards that we are giving out today recognize our student athletes and our alumni for their excellence in sport, studies, and character. Due to the need to limit the number of participants at this year's awards ceremony, 3 categories of awards that are usually given out at tonight's ceremony will be presented next week, but will be recognized tonight.
The first category of awards is the MOE EduSave Character Award. The EduSave Character Award is presented to student athletes who have demonstrated exemplary character qualities and are excellent role models. The MOE EduSave Character Award has been awarded to the following student athletes.
The next award is the Sports Achiever Award, Secondary. This award is presented to student athletes in the secondary program who have achieved outstanding results in their sports development and are role models for their peers. Ladies and gentlemen, here are the recipients of the award.
The last category of awards to be celebrated tonight, but with certificates presented next week, is the Sports Achiever Award Post-Secondary. This award is presented to sports school student athletes on our International Baccalaureate Diploma program, or the Polytechnic Diploma programs who have achieved outstanding results in their sport. The recipients of this award are We would now like to invite our principal, Mr. Ong Kim Soon, on stage to present the Outstanding Academic Award. This award is presented to student athletes who have excelled academically in the 2020 GCE N-Level and IBDP examinations. GCE O-Level Examination. Alyssa Brynmarla Low Canuela, Badminton. Dang Tan Lai Althea, Bowling. Neo Tia Sin Kylie, Bowling. Ho Su Ann, Netball.
GCE N-Level Examination. Heng Chun Ray, Bowling. Kalesa Carl Williams, netball. Tham Mei Sin, netball.
GCE NT level examination. P. Colleen, bowling. Saifuddin bin Nasruddin, track and field.
IBDP examination. So Ingtia, netball. Deandra Limandibrata, shooting. Rachel Cheong, track and field. Unfortunately, she is unable to join us tonight as she is currently undergoing basic military training. Yeo Siu Lin, individual program, gymnastics. Nujaid Hasif bin Zainal Abidin, individual program, Pencak Silat. Unfortunately, he is unable to join us tonight due to NS obligations. Ao Yong Wai Yan, individual program, squash. Nicholas Rahmadi, individual program, triathlon. Thank you, Mr. Ong. Please remain on stage for the rest of the awards.
Annabelle Pennyfather Excellence Award. The Annabelle Pennyfather Excellence Award is an inaugural award presented to 2 female graduating student athletes who have attained outstanding sports achievements. The award honors sports icon Annabelle Pennyfather, a former national hockey player, former vice president of Singapore National Olympic Council, and former president of the Singapore Hockey Federation. Recipients of the award should demonstrate sporting excellence, strong leadership, passion, integrity, moral character and conduct, as well as community spirit. The Annabelle Pennyfather Excellence Award is funded by the International Women's Forum Singapore Education Grant, which is managed by the Community Foundation of Singapore.
I've given my heart and soul to the sport I love for almost a decade, and yet there are many times where I still feel as though I'm not good enough. But this award is a reminder of how far I've come.
There were many times where I felt like giving up. I lost motivation to train, struggled to find the right balance between my sports and studies, and even thought of retiring from my sport. However, this award actually acts as an encouragement for me to push on and persevere to the end.
A few of my main goals is to qualify and hopefully podium at the 2022 Asian Games and to compete together with my sister at a major games one day. Beyond competing, I hope to inspire and help many more juniors and youths follow their dreams even if it means taking an unconventional route.
I hope to compete in more major games, including the Olympics, and hopefully medal in them.
We would now like to invite Miss Vanessa S., daughter of the late Annabelle Pennyfather, to join Mr. Ong on stage to present this award. Miss S., please.
The first recipient of the inaugural Annabelle Pennyfather Excellence Award is Eunice Lim Zoe from Table Tennis Academy. Eunice has been a sports school student athlete since 2013 and has medaled in several table tennis competitions over the years. Eunice recently made history by topping the first graduating cohort from the Diploma in Business course by Ngee Ann Polytechnic in May 2020 with a near-perfect grade point average. In 2020, she proved that she was among the top local women's table tennis players after getting joint third in the women's singles and women's doubles events at the Singapore Table Tennis Association's National Grand Finale. Eunice, who is currently in Singapore Management University, continues to train about 4 times a week to qualify for upcoming SEA Games competitions, Commonwealth Games, and the Asian Games. Her ultimate goal is to represent Singapore at the 2028 Olympic Games. Presenting Eunice Lim Zoe.
The second recipient of the inaugural Annabelle Pennyfather Excellence Award is Ao Yong Wai Yan from individual program Squash. Ao Yong Wai Yan is a highly motivated, disciplined, and focused student athlete who has excelled in both sports and studies. The 3-time Women's National Squash Champion represented Singapore in the 2019 Southeast Asian Games and returned home with 3 medals: Women's Team and Mixed Team silvers and Women's Individual bronze. Wayan also recently graduated from the extended IBDP in 2020 with 43 points. On the professional circuit, she wants to first break into the top 100, then subsequently climb up the ranks to become one of the top 80. What makes Wayan outstanding is not just her achievements in sports, it is her strong drive in her pursuit of excellence and her courage to venture into the path less trodden. She is always determined to realize her full potential with optimism and an open mind. Ladies and gentlemen, Ao Yong Wayan. Thank you, Ms. S.
Tan Hao Liang Excellence Award. Funded by the Singapore Olympic Foundation, the Tan Hao Liang Excellence Award is also an inaugural award presented to 2 male graduating student athletes who have outstanding sports achievements. The award honors Mr. Tan Hao Liang, who was the first Singaporean to win an Olympic Games medal at the 1960 Olympic Games, despite encountering many challenges along the way. Recipients of the award should demonstrate sporting excellence, strong leadership, passion, integrity, moral character and conduct, and community spirit.
This award means a lot to me because I've made a lot of sacrifices in my wushu career and a lot of hard work has been put into it. Getting this award, it shows that the school recognizes my hard work. and that feels really good.
It's really an honor to be given this award. You know, it has been a long journey since my swimming days when I first entered the Singapore Sports School and eventually switching to triathlon in Sec 3. There were countless setbacks, but I learned from them along the way, and I hope my journey encourages my juniors and peers in sports school to never give up and keep persevering, learning, and believe that nothing is impossible.
My goal for the coming years will be to podium at the SEA Games, World Champs, and Asian Games.
I hope to qualify for the Hanoi 2021 SEA Games and hopefully win a gold medal for Singapore. In the long term, I hope to compete in the 2024 and 2028 Olympics.
We would like to invite Ms. Chan Lei Hun, board member of the Singapore Olympic Foundation, to join Mr. Ong on stage to present this award. Ms. Chan, please.
The first recipient of the inaugural Tan Hao Liang Excellence Award is Nicholas Rajmadi from Individual Program Triathlon. From taking on triathlon midway during his time at Singapore Sports School to taking up the challenge to lead the entire student body as the chairperson of the Council of School Captains in 2019/2020, just months before the 2019 SEA Games, Nicholas Rajmadi has never been afraid to try just about anything. He made his debut at the 2019 SEA Games representing Singapore in duathlon and returned home with a silver medal. He is also a firm believer in giving back to society. He participated in Relay Majula, a ground-up initiative to form a 200-runner team to conquer 2,000 kilometers over 200 hours to raise funds for the President's Challenge. He was also involved in the sports school's #SSP We Care fundraising efforts to support charities during the pandemic. The highly motivated and determined student athlete graduated from the Extended International Baccalaureate Diploma program with an impressive 43 points. He hopes to continue achieving more milestones in sports in the future, including qualifying for the 2028 Olympic Games. He also aims to pursue a medical career. Presenting Nicholas Rajmadi.
The second recipient of the Tan Hao Liang Excellence Award is Joan Lim Si Wei from Individual Program Wushu. Wushu exponent Joan Lim Si Wei entered Singapore Sports School midway during his diploma studies. The Diploma in Sports and Leisure Management student transferred from Republic Polytechnic main campus to take up the same program offered at sports school to leverage the athlete-friendly support so as to soar to greater heights in his sports pursuit. Joan has participated in the 2017 and 2019 SEA Games. At the 2019 SEA Games, he came home with a silver medal in Daoshu, Gunshu. He has also participated in the 2018 Asian Games, where he came in fourth among his regional counterparts. Also, at the 15th World Wushu Championship in Shanghai in 2018, Joan won bronze medals in both Daoshu and Gunshu events. Joan hopes to podium at the SEA Games and World Championships this year and eventually win a medal at the Asian Games. Ladies and gentlemen, Joan Lim Si Wei. Thank you, Ms. Chan.
The next award is the prestigious Moo Soon Chong Outstanding Student Athlete of the Year Award, Secondary. Named after the founding principal, the late Mr. Moo Soon Chong, this award is given yearly to student athletes in the secondary level who excel in both sport and studies, display exemplary conduct, and are role models to their peers.
2020 was an interesting year with a lot of ups and downs, as there were lesser competition and overseas trips. My morale and motivation dropped a bit, but my coaches still tried their best to change training methods to keep me motivated throughout training. To be able to get this award this year motivates me to train even harder and work even harder to get better results next year.
In 2020, there were very little competitions for me to participate in. Therefore, this award will motivate me to train even harder in the future.
My goal is to get a gold medal in SEA Games one day and hopefully represent Singapore in the Olympics and get a podium finish.
At the end of this year, there will be the Asian Youth Games and the SEA Games. I hope to participate in them and win medals for Singapore.
We would like to invite our guest of honor, Ms. Janice Yun, to join Mr. Ong on stage to present this award. Ms. Yun, please.
Our first recipient is Zhou Jingyi from Table Tennis Academy. Jingyi started the year 2020 on a high note by scoring a gold medal in the Under-16 girls singles event at the Safira International Tournament and a bronze medal in the cadet girls singles event. She proved herself to be a strong contender and was ranked 5th in the 2020 World Rankings for Women's Under-15. Jingyi is also a sports captain and has proven to be a good role model with an excellent attitude and conduct. Since her first year in sports school, she has participated and medaled in several competitions. She aims to be a part of the national women's team and attain greater achievements and do Singapore proud one day. Presenting Zhou Jingyi.
Our second recipient is Kwek Yong Isaac from Table Tennis Academy. Isaac won his first gold medal at the cadet boys singles event in the International Table Tennis Federation World Junior Circuit, Swedish Junior and Cadet Open in 2020. He also bagged 2 bronze medals in the junior boys singles and doubles events. At the Safir International Tournament, Isaac also put up an outstanding performance by winning a gold in the Under-14s boys singles event and a bronze in the Under-16 boys singles event. For his excellent performances, he was ranked 3rd in the 2020 World Rankings for men's Under-15. Isaac hopes to be drafted to the national team and eventually pursue a diploma in business studies. At the same time, he aspires to increase the level of participation or interest in table tennis as a sport in Singapore and globally. Ladies and gentlemen, Isaac Kwek.
Mu Sun Chong, Outstanding Student Athlete of the Year Award, Post-Secondary. Like the secondary award, this is given to 1 male and 1 female post-secondary student athlete who excel in both sport and studies, display exemplary conduct, and are role models to their peers.
Receiving this award is a significant achievement for me as it is a sweet ending to my 8 years journey at sports school. This award is given to only the top student athlete at sports school, so I'm feeling very thankful and feeling very honored to be able to receive this award.
Many sacrifices have been made to chase my Olympic dream. Sacrifices such as taking a gap year and going overseas for training. I'm thankful because the award recognizes my hard work and effort.
My immediate sporting goals will definitely to try to qualify for major games such as Olympics and the SEA Games, and I'm also looking at how I could give back to the shooting scene as an athlete.
My goal is to qualify for the Beijing 2022 Winter Olympics. To do so, I hope to do well for the Olympic qualification event.
The first recipient is Ho Siu Yi from Shooting Academy. Siu Yi has a whole list of achievements under her belt. While juggling the demanding IB diploma program, Siu Yi still managed to achieve bronze medals in the 10-meter air rifle women individual events at the Denmark Open, Air and Singapore Cup, as well as a silver in the Taiwan-Singapore friendly shoot in 2020. The 2019 SEA Games silver medalist always displays self-confidence, enthusiasm and commitment even when she is not practicing or competing. Her outstanding achievements in sport and her service to the school have won her many accolades and scholarships, including the SPECS Scholarship by Sports Singapore from 2018 to 2020. Besides training and competitions, Siu Yi sets aside time each year to spend time with the less fortunate. Siu Yi is currently working towards qualifying for the Olympic Games in 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, Ho Siu Yi.
Our second recipient is Trevor Tan Shu Xuan from individual program Ice Skating. Trevor was ranked the top youth skater after winning performances at the 2020 Singapore National Short Track Speed Skating Championships and 2019 Asian Open STSS Trophy, which earned him selection for the Winter Youth Olympic Games. He is one of the 3 winter sport athletes who represented Singapore at the Lausanne 2020 WYOG. This was the first time Singapore participated at the winter edition of the Youth Olympic Games. As a high-performing student athlete, Trevor is on the Extended International Baccalaureate Diploma Program, which will allow him flexibility and support in his preparation for the 2020 Winter Olympics. He was offered the SPECS Scholarship in 2020 and is currently on leave of absence to work towards achieving his Olympic dream. Presenting Trevor Tan.
Thank you, Ms. Yun, Ms. Tan, and Mr. Ong.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of our awards night. Before we go, can we all please rise for the school anthem?
We will rise to the challenge the sports school has won, with pride and with passion in the journey we run. Every step leads us closer to our goal. And a voice keeps telling us to stay strong, to keep on walking, 'cause it won't be too long.
With Chinese New Year around the corner, here's wishing all our guests 身体健康.
万事如意.
Thank you for spending your evening with us.
Please remember to observe safe management measures as you leave the auditorium.
Thank you and good night.